If you're using Mailchimp with your Shopify store, I'm going to go over the top 5 reasons why you should switch to Klaviyo. Or I could also say the top 5 reasons or top 5 ways Klaviyo will help you make more money than Mailchimp. So number one, we're going to start off with is Mailchimp is actually no longer directly integrated with Shopify. Shopify actually removed the Mailchimp app from their store in early 2019. And I'm on the Shopify community blog here where they announced it. Shopify and Mailchimp had kind of a pretty public breakup, if you will, and they don't like each other anymore. So Shopify actually removed them from the App Store, and now Mailchimp can't connect directly to your Shopify store. So what that means is you can't actually get the data from your Shopify store into Mailchimp directly. You have to use a third-party app, and you can probably already see the problem with this is, there's that link in the chain, and you can't get real-time data, and you can't really get all of the data that you can with an integrated app like Klaviyo that connects directly to your store. Now, one of the most popular third-party apps that people are using to connect their store is this app called ShopSync. So basically you install this on your Shopify store, and it's this link in this chain. So it takes all your information and pushes it to Mailchimp. So it appears that everything's working as usual, but the fact of the matter is, you don't get real-time data. It doesn't actually grab all the data that you can grab when you're fully integrated. And I've actually seen a lot of discrepancies in the data. Sometimes, numbers are off, and a lot of people have had problems with these apps where the sync disconnects or doesn't work for whatever reason. But the number one reason why I wouldn't use ShopSync myself is because I'm on ShopSync's website here. And you can look through, it looks like a legitimate website, but there's actually no way, there's no way to tell who these people are. There's no contact us really. There's an about page that just, is easy, quick data here, fluff data really. No phone number, no real address. There's a contact link here, but that's actually just an email address, a mail to support@ShopSync. There's this support link that takes you to their support documents. They really only have like email support, but there's about who's ShopSync. It doesn't really say. There's this guy, Kyle. I can't click on that though. I don't know if that's a real person or not. There's no real contact or address here. In fact, the only contact information I can find about this company at all is in their privacy policy. There's a P.O. box down here. So there's kind of no way to know if this is a legitimate company, or this could also be a 12-year-old kid in his mom's basement on the other side of the planet. I have no idea. And this app has access to all of your store's information. So that's something I'd never do. But that's actually a really popular app. Most people that are still on Mailchimp are using this ShopSync app, and I guess they felt okay with it, but I personally wouldn't. On top of that, you can't even get all the data that you can get when you use someone like Klaviyo. And I'll go over that more later in this video. But as far as integration goes, once Shopify and Mailchimp split up in early 2019, a lot of people switched from Mailchimp to Klaviyo. And if I go to the Klaviyo blog here, you can see in the past couple years now, there's been over 10,000 Mailchimp users that switched to Klaviyo. So Klaviyo had a unique opportunity there where they could actually see all these previous Mailchimp customers come over to Klaviyo. They could look at all of their data, all of their sales, their open rate, their click rate, set them up on Klaviyo, and see how much they improved. And on average, they saw that stores generated 46% more in total revenue, which was a unique kind of perspective that they got when those two companies split and all these Mailchimp users went over to Klaviyo. They saw this huge increase. So that's great data there that proves that switching over to Klaviyo can actually make you more money because they got a lot of great features for e-commerce. On top of that, when you're fully integrated to Shopify, you can track visitors, as soon as they land on your site. You can see all the pages they go to, the products they look at, the products they add to their cart, where they abandon their cart. When you're using something like ShopSync and Mailchimp to try to make it work together, you miss out on that live real-time data. You got to wait for ShopSync. I think it syncs every 30 or 60 minutes. It'll sync data, and a lot of times it's not even correct. I've personally experienced that with clients. So when you're directly integrated, you just get way more data and you get it live. So that's reason one. Reason two, we'll jump into Klaviyo, because Klaviyo's features are just a lot more powerful, a lot more intuitive than Mailchimp. If you've used Mailchimp for a while, I'm sure you've seen how unintuitive it can be and how frustrating it can be to do what should be pretty simple. And we're going to talk about lists and segments, really segmentation. One of the most powerful features Klaviyo offers is their ability to segment your lists based on criteria that you set. They make it super simple, super intuitive, unlike other people like Mailchimp. So I'll just click on lists here. This is a couple list and segment in here that are default, but it's super easy. Just create list or segment. And lists are easy to create. Just give it a name, add people to it. A list is really static. Like when people get added to the list, they'll be on the list until they either unsubscribe or you remove them. A segment, however, is what it says here, a dynamic segment of people based on their behavior or properties. So the segment can grow or shrink depending on the people that meet the criteria. For example, you can create a segment of people that have joined your newsletter in the last week, and that'll create a list of everyone that's joined in the last week. And as time goes by, those people that are older than a week will fall off of the segment, and the new people will get added to the segment. So it's dynamic. Lists are pretty straightforward. We'll jump into segments. Creating segments in Klaviyo is super easy. In Mailchimp, not so much. For example, you just give it a name, and then you have a bunch of criteria that you can pick from here. So what someone's done or hasn't done, properties about them, some GDPR stuff, proximity to a location. So if you have a brick and mortar store, you could actually create a segment based on people close to a zip code. If someone is in or not in a list. So if you've created a couple other lists, maybe you've got a VIP list or something, and you want to create a segment of people based on that. If someone is or not suppressed, suppressed is just what Klaviyo calls people that are have marked it as spam or have unsubscribed from your list. They'll be marked as suppressed, and you won't be able to send to them. Consent to receive SMS, super useful. And predictive analytics is something that Klaviyo offers. They've got a bunch of data that they crunch, and they can create, they can predict things like when someone might buy again, or what the customer time value is. But what we usually stick with, I'll just show you real quick, is what someone's done or hasn't done. So you drop that, you click that, and then you have a whole bunch of other options here. So the popular ones really are if someone's clicked an email, if someone's opened an email, if someone's clicked or received SMS, subscribed to back in stock notifications, subscribed to a list, if they've been active on the site, if they've added any products to cart, if they've viewed any products, if they've started a checkout, if they've placed an order. These are Shopify events here. Makes it super easy. I'll just give you a quick example here. So viewed product, and I can just come here and go viewed product, and then you select at least once, 0 times, equals, whatever you want. I'll do at least once, overall time, in the last amount of days, between dates you can do. We'll do in the last 30 days. I can add a filter to this where, and this is an example Klaviyo account, but you could be like categories and then select whatever it is you want, men's, women's, coffee, shoes, whatever it is you're selling. You can even do these other features or go directly by product ID. I think I have one. That's the ID of a certain product on this store. But there's no one on this list, so it's not going to make anything. But this will create a segment of anyone that's viewed this specific product in the last 30 days. And then you just click create. Klaviyo builds a list. This is an empty list, so there's 0. And then you come back and you've got your new segment that you can then send emails to, you can send campaigns to, you can set up a email flow, which we'll talk about in a second. And if you want to change it, you can see here's the settings. If you want to change it, you just update the definition. If you don't want it anymore, you just delete it. If I wanted it back, I could just recreate it. Super simple, easy to do. I can do these in seconds. You can segment your list out in seconds. That's, if you've used Mailchimp, that's not something that you can do with Mailchimp. Definitely that can't do it easy. So that's number 2, powerful segmentation. Number 3 is going to be flows. And flows, Mailchimp calls them automations. Klaviyo calls them flows. Really, they're just a series of emails that will be sent out based on a visitor's actions or properties or some sort of trigger. These are some default ones that Klaviyo adds. This really sets Klaviyo apart from the other guys, especially Mailchimp, because they've got so many powerful flows that you can easily set up and build out. The abandoned cart one is one of the most popular ones. Every e-commerce store should have an abandoned cart email flow. I'll just click on this to show you real quick. Klaviyo lets you build these out in this this drag and drop setup, which is super helpful, super intuitive. This, in Mailchimp, it's kind of a nightmare. But you can see the flow is triggered off of a person's activity. So they started a checkout and they haven't placed an order, and then you wait 4 hours. After 4 hours, you can assume they haven't placed the order, they've abandoned the cart. Then you send an email. This is one of the emails. Let me just close this. And this is as easy as just going, I want to send an email. You just grab it, you drag it over, you send an email here. You click here to edit what you want the subject and the content to be of the email. I won't get into that too much. But you set up your email and then you go, I want a time delay. And then you just go 3 days, save that, drag another email after 3 days, and you can see how you just build these out. Super simple, super intuitive. I can delete it if I want. And then you can just set up this flow of emails after an abandoned cart. So normally it's, you left something behind your cart's about to expire, you can send a coupon code after a few days. And then this is a conditional split. You can say, okay, they haven't placed an order yet. You can send, or if they have, you can send them this email. If they haven't, you can send them this email. Change your wording up. And you can see here on this flow or this email, there's 2 boxes. That's because I've set up 2 variations, and that's as easy as just clicking on an email and clicking on this email and then going add a variation. So you can split test your emails right at this point as well. And here we've just changed the subject line, and then 50% of the people will get one, 50% will get the other, and you can just edit the emails right there. You can even edit them and change the content, so you can split test your content or your calls to action. And that is flows, super powerful. That's just, let me save and exit. That's just the abandoned cart flow. There's a ton of other flows that you can set up. Browse abandonment, so they viewed a product and then left. Customer thank yous, customer win-backs, product reviews, cross-sells, upsells, welcome series. When someone joins your newsletter, you can see this is after someone is added to the newsletter. You can send them a series of emails just to introduce your brand to them. And then you can go to browse ideas over here, and you can see Klaviyo has, I think there's like 36 flow templates set up in here that you can use to just get started right away. As you know, on top of the fact that you can just build your own custom ones that are perfect for your brand or your products or your type of customers. So that's the flows. Number 4 is list growth, really, which comes down to sign up forms. So we'll go to sign up forms here. If you've built forms in something like Mailchimp, you know that that's kind of a nightmare as well. But in Klaviyo, it's super easy. You can build, well, I'll just create a sign up form here. Super easy. It's drag and drop. And you can see they give us these types: pop-up forms, fly-out forms, which just kind of slide out from the corner or the top, embedded forms, and they're super easy to build. I usually like to put an embedded form on the middle of the home page, and then a pop-up form on the home page, and then I like using the fly-out forms on product pages. But we'll go here and I'll show you some. This is a fly-out form, and I actually have 2 variations here. I'll just edit one. That's another thing. Klaviyo makes it super easy to split test your form, so you can create 2 variations and change your copy, change your images, your colors, your calls to action, see which one outperforms the other ones. But this is an example of the flyout form, and you just click on things and you can edit them right here. You can come back and just drag whatever you want. Wanted to add an image in there, you just drag it in there. Super easy. And we'll just come back here. Let's say that's the flyout form. Exit. But one of the great benefits about using Klaviyo's forms as well is you collect data earlier, and you can use that data more efficiently, because a lot of people use, for one, especially if you're using a Mailchimp form, you're going to have to use ShopSync to even get the data. And if you're using some other third-party pop-up form or something like that, you miss out on this opportunity to cookie and track the person immediately from when they fill out the form. So if you think about it, I'm not going to dive too much into browsers and cookies, but when you're using a third-party form like Just Uno or Privy, these are 2 really popular Shopify pop-up forms. When the person enters their email into that form, that third-party app then has to push it to your email list, and then once it's added to your email list, then you can use it. When you're using a Klaviyo form, as soon as someone fills out the Klaviyo form, Klaviyo can cookie that person immediately, so they know when they filled out that form, and they know that, oh, that person's on the home page. Okay, now that person went to this product. Okay, now that person clicked the add to cart button. They know that from the second that it happens, and you can watch it live in Klaviyo's dashboard. When you're using the third-party form, you can't track them until you send them an email and they click on the email and they come back to your store. There's just no way for a third-party app to cookie the person and pass it along to your email provider and have them track them from the get-go. So you kind of miss out on that first visit and visits after that if they don't click on your emails to see what these people are doing and to follow up with them with emails. So that's really big deal if you think about it. So that is list growth. That's number 4. Number 5, we're going to dive into Klaviyo's integrations. So if we come in here, we go to integrations, and we go to all integrations. You can see Klaviyo has a bunch of awesome, popular integrations to help you kind of grow your list and get more money out of your list. But one of the key ones that will help you make more money is Facebook. Klaviyo integrates with Facebook, so you can take your list, you can push it to Facebook, you can use that to create audiences in Facebook advertising so that you can target your list as well as lookalike audiences that look like people that match the people on your list. This is a great way to, promote your sales, But it's also a great way to, because in Klaviyo you could create, say, a segment of people that haven't engaged with your email in, say, over a year. So there's people that are really unengaged, they're not clicking on your emails, they're not visiting your site. You can create a segment of them, push that to Facebook, create an audience of it, and you can use an ad on Facebook to either try to re-engage them, or if they don't re-engage, you have the option to remove them from your email list, which can save you a lot of money if you've got a lot of people on your list that aren't actually engaging with your list. So Facebook's super helpful, super useful, definitely can make you more money. There's a couple other great ones in here that I like. Recharge if you've got recurring payments. Typeform if you want to do surveys. Zendesk if you're doing customer support stuff. But a lot of great integrations. Those are the top ones. Definitely can make you more money with the Facebook ones. And that's it. That's our top 5. I've got one extra bonus one, which I'm going to throw in. So there's technically 6 reasons, but that's SMS, text message marketing. Klaviyo a few months ago rolled out, SMS services, and the brands that are adding it are seeing 30% increase in sales, some of them. It's really hot right now, and it's one of those things where I think you should jump on it early, because who knows what's going to happen down the road. It might not be so hot once consumers get a little educated on it, or maybe they get some blinders on it. But SMS is hot right now. You should really jump on it. Some brands are seeing some great increases in sales. And also, if you need any help with any of this, my team and I can help you migrate from Mailchimp. We can help you get set up your Klaviyo account, and we can even manage your account for you. So if you need any help, I'll put a link below in the description where you can schedule an appointment, a 15-minute call on my calendar, and it's really just a discovery call. We'll see what you're doing with emails, and we'll see what we can do to help you. And if you need any help, we'd be happy to provide it. No obligation. It's not a sales call. We'll just go over your email and see if we can help. I hope you found some value in this video. Thanks for watching.